So over the past few days, I've been testing the Olina extensively to see everything it can do for movies, especially movies. So today, I'm only just going to talk about its performance for movies alone, not music. It's fine, it's great for music, but a lot of people, when you come on YouTube, you see people that review earphones. They just stick to music. I really find that weird. When they come on YouTube, you see guys that do a lot of quality reviews. You see them, they do their fine videos and everything, but they never go in depth to talk about earphones performance with movies and games, which is very, very annoying because if an earphone is poor in presenting movie soundtrack, movie audio setups, uh, I don't think that earphone is good because no matter how good they perform for music, it's a shadow of what they can really do if they cannot do movies very, very well. So it is very important that if an earphone sounds fantastic for music, it should, by all accounts, perform impressive for movies. One thing I found out over the years is that an earphone that is very detailed or very, very bright or has the potential to be resolving, when you use it for movies, you find it very tiresome and very harsh in your ears because the vocals is so in your face, and probably the upper register of the audio spectrum becomes very intense. So now it's something that a lot of people do not know, but it is very important when you see anybody reviewing any earphone, please ask them how does that particular earphone perform for movies, and let them be specific with the movies they've tested. So now let's go on. The Olinas are currently the best earphones I've tested for movies, and I'll explain why. Look, the signature of the Olina is neutral slash a bit bright. Now, on some earphones, on some drivers, if you use such a tuning, you end up with a harsh sound that isn't very, very good. But when you use it on a driver that is really, really, really competent, not just competent, but you're able to get the best out of the bass itself and make it blend with the treble region, you will have a very good balance. One thing I found out about this earphone is that it has a very good balance between being bright but still having a lot of slam to give you that impact in movies. Now, the first movie I used to test this was The Batman. I watched the new Batman movie on 4K Blu-ray with it, and the mix was Dolby Atmos. And I would say, when I watched the Batman, I wasn't crazy impressed because of the audio of the Batman movie. The Batman doesn't have, it has a very good audio, but uh, I thought that the earphone lacked slam when I watched the movie. It had the slam, it went low, it did everything well. But there was something I felt that was missing until I now watched other films. For instance, Uncharted. I watched Uncharted 2 days ago with this film. Oh my god. This earphone is incredible. Like, this earphone scared the hell out of me. This earphone does something that the IBasso does not do, and I can explain why both are good, but you have to pick. This earphone reveals details in movies that most dynamic drivers I've ever tested cannot reproduce. It reproduced details and it has energy. I like the IBasso for movies. Before I got the Olinas, I actually thought this was the best earphone I had for movies, period. But there is something this one had as a problem, the IBasso IT00 had as a problem, and that is number one, it distorts when there is a crazy low frequency in any scene. It really distorts badly, and uh, it's from the driver. It's a limitation. And there are another thing again is that it has slam, but it doesn't have that impact slam, that slam that you get from a cinema that really, really startles you. Like, if I turn up the volume on the IBasso to get something close to the energy of slam that this does, this will distort. It will distort because it cannot handle that the volume one, but the impact of the slam that the movie presents. So this thing handles impact like a champ. It didn't distort one bit. In fact, it was so good that if you've watched Uncharted, I'm not going to give out spoilers, but if you've watched Uncharted, there is a scene at the end where the ship crashes from the air because when the characters in the movie steals the ship that has the goats and they were transporting it, and the fight scene starts, and at the end the ship crashes into the ocean. There is an incredible amount of low frequency in those scenes that dig so deep because they're carrying a ship in the air. There is going to be a lot of explosions and a lot of low frequency impact. This thing handled those low frequency to a point that it was nauseating, to be honest, because when an earphone can get so loud but does not distort, and you are the one trying to turn down the volume, not because the audio is bad, but just because you cannot take the pressure that this thing can deliver, that's when you know that the earphone is fantastic. So this earphone is incredible for movies and for games alike, because if it performs very well for movies, your games will be easy for it. It doesn't distort, and that is one positive I give it. There is something it can do that the Aria, the Whizzer, the Nishek, all the other $100 and something dollar earphones cannot do, and that is the fact that it has enough low frequency for explosions. Yes, it has a lot of low frequency. Like, I get it that it is a bit of a bright set, but it still has a lot of bass. Like, it is scary the amount of bass this thing has, especially if you watch movies with it, because when you listen to music you might think, oh, it is detailed, you hear all the vocals of it. I need that blonde or something like a crazy tall level like bass, but it has that, but um you need the right audio that goes straight to get that kind of bass. The only thing I can give the IBasso a bit over it is that the IBasso has more bass. What it does is that because the IBasso has more bass, you might not find a need to turn up volume most of the time for the IBasso because there is enough bass. So for those low frequency scenes in movies, you'll be fine enough with this for the most part. But with this guy, I will say right now, this is the best earphone, dynamic driver earphone you can buy for movies. Specifically, if you want impact on real sound, really crazy dynamics. It has dynamics in it. When I watched The Batman, which is an action heavy flick, I thought this had little dynamics compared to even a chipset like the EDX. The reason the EDX was successful is because it had a lot of dynamics. It didn't have the best bass, it didn't have the best mid-range, but what it had was the energy. And if you get that correct in an earphone, you will enjoy movie or gaming content and then, because those kind of content need energy. They need an earphone that can deliver energy. And that is what this thing delivers. It delivers a lot of energy. And it's very, very important to get the right balance. Now, as for what you can use to power it to get the best out of it, I would suggest an amp. If you want to watch a movie, get a small amp, like a Topping NX1. You could use, if you want to go overkill, get the NX7, the new NX7. And pair it up, but do not turn the volume up a lot, but because it is more than capable to blow your ears out. So this thing is very, very good. It's really, really good, and it's really, really powerful. I enjoyed it, especially for movies. It was fun. It was really, really fun listening to it for movies. I compared it side by side against this, and I came to the conclusion easily that this is the best. And there is one more thing it does that this thing does not do very well, and that is the vocals. Most earphones have harsh vocals at high volume. they tend to have that because it accentuates that S and T region that of the sibilance, because no matter how good your earphone, it will accentuate that. But there is a way this one curbs it down that it does not present it to be too harsh. So this is the reason why I said this is the best for movies if you really want to watch movies and play games. So that is my conclusion. The Olina is the best dynamic driver earphone you can buy below $200 right now. So do go out and get it. I'll leave links to where you can get it, even with the IBasso. Both are fantastic earphones. If you like this content, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see everybody very much next time.